Okay, looks like we're back with you. Trying to catch up here with whatever we were doing earlier. Basically, at 360. We're checking the, we're doing climb tests at certain airspeeds and descents, gliding descents at certain airspeed, then we're checking the rate of descent, rate of climb, just trying to figure out what's the best, glide and the best, climb rate on this aircraft. So, what we got cut off at was actually, the 360 degree, complete 360 descent at about 120 knots. So we're about 2,300 feet. Gonna establish that descent. Just like so, throttle back, and do a complete 360. (2,200), 2,000 feet per minute. 120 knots, 3,000 feet per minute. 120 knots, 2,200 feet per minute. 1,000 feet. And roll wings level. It's like 1,100 feet, now we started about 2,400 or so. So we're gonna mark it in there. Just like so. Okay, next step is to climb back up. As a matter of fact, we're going to do a climb at 110 knots now. So we're going to go down to about 500 feet along the shoreline. Get the timer lined up, and we're going to check rate of climb at 110. Start, stop, reset right there. Clear on the left. Okay, 110 knot climb, trim hands off, and climb from 500 through 1,000. We're gonna mark what's the rate of climb. There's 110. Everything's normal. Full power, climb at 110. Crossing through 1,000 feet, we're gonna start the clock and check the rate of climb. Right rudder is necessary, hold your heading 220 or so. 1,000 feet, boom, start the clock. Climb at 110, check rate of climb. Holding 110 right rudder, holding 220 heading. 15 seconds. Seconds. Holding 110, 700 feet already. 45 seconds, 1,100 feet already. 110. 3, 2, and 1. Action. 1 minute. 2,400. 1,400 feet per minute climb at 110 knots. Power back up. And level off. Trim heads off flying. Let the engine cool off a little bit. Looks like we gained 1,400 feet per minute. And 3,400. So basically at 110 knots we're getting, oops, traffic on the TCAS. Let's keep an eye here. Alright, there's your traffic right there. Keep visual contact with this guy. Right behind. Looks like he's heading northeast. Anybody else coming? Nothing from the right. And looks like he's running away from us. Mile, 1,000 above. Traffic no factor, 1 mile, 1,000 above, 1.2 miles way behind. No problem, we can continue our maneuvering here. Now let's see what we got. Looks like we got climb test number 5. Let's do climb test number 5, and it is nice and trim. Reset the clock. September 13. And time now is 4:59. Climb test number 5. Establish climb at 100 knots, trim. Hands off. Begin 1 minute timer. As pass through 2,000 feet. At the end 1 minute, record altitude. Okay, so basically, we're going to test the rate of climb at 100 knots. In order to do so, we're going to go down to 500 feet. Block Island is right there. It's got a Connecticut coastline right there. Ooh, getting dark. Don't need those sunglasses no more. Clear to the right. 1, 2, 3. Traffic 4 miles, 1,000 above. Keep coming down. looking good, everything's normal. 100 knot climb. Right along the shoreline. Clear on the right, TCAS is clear, clear to the left. Full power. Nose up, trim, 100 knot climb. 500 feet, start the clock. Right rudder, maintain coordinated flight, trim as necessary, hands off flying. 7 seconds. Feet, 14 seconds. On and on. 20 seconds. Right rudder. Seconds, 100 knots. 1100. Knots, 45 seconds. Right rudder. Roll centered. Right rudder. 50 seconds. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 1 minute. Bam. 2200. Not bad at all, not bad at all. 2200. Start at 500 at 100 knots. 2200 from 500. Wow, that's nice. Looks like 1700 feet per minute. Nice. Alright, it says to let the engine cool off a little bit. Reset your clock. And we got 2200 from 500 at 1700 feet per minute. Next climb is 90 knots. So, what we're going to do now is go down along the shoreline at 500 feet and do a climb at 90 knots. And see what kind of climb we can get. TCAS is clear. Coming down. Love the roll rate on this airplane. Unbelievable roll rate. Look at this. Unbelievable roll rate. Makes you dizzy. Look at this roll rate. Look at this. Clear on the left. Okay, climb at 90 knots. Straight along the shoreline. Everything's normal, green, 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 nice and cool, 500 feet. And 90 knot climb. Let's see what kind of performance we're getting on this baby. 90 knot. Full power, 90 knot. Look for 500. Bam, start the clock, 90 knot climb. Ooh, look at that pitch. Right rudder. Trim, trim, trim. 90 knots, right rudder, ball center. Trim, trim, trim. Right there. 15 seconds. .21 seconds. Seconds, 90 knots, 1,500 feet. 90 knots, 40 seconds, 1,700 feet. Right rudder, ball centered. 50 seconds, 10 seconds to go. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. 1 minute. Stop the clock. 2,300 feet. Throttle back. Let the engine cool off a little bit. And trim. Just like so. 500 to 2300. 500 to 2300. 1800 feet per minute climb. At 90 knots. Okay, let the engine cool off, so throttle back. And let's see what's next for us today. Alright, let's see what we got. Well, it's telling us to land, but it's too much fun up here. What land? I keep flying here. Ooh, what's these clouds? Get away from these clouds, 2,000 feet distance, 500 feet below, and 1,000 above. We're gonna go back to the west when there's no clouds. Okay. Use checklist, flight pattern at 80 knots, taxi back and green, prep for corrective action, record fuel gallon consumption, use graph to compute VYVX, use graph to compute best glide speed. Although this climb test can be done at slower speed, be careful. At 80 knots and 70 knots, this aircraft is a very slow and nose high pitch attitude configuration is on the backside of the power curve. Unless you have a great deal of prior experience with RV series aircraft, 90 is probably as slow as you need to go for these tests. I don't know about 70, but let's give it a shot with 80 knots and see what it got. Everything's normal, nice and clear. Clear behind, clear on the right. I want to see the climb rate at 80 knots. Looks like balance the fuel, and we're going to go to the left tank now. Down to about 200-300 feet along the shoreline, and then establish an 80-knot climb right along the shoreline. Everything's looking good. We'll put the fuel pump on for the sake of it. Maybe it's going to be way too much high-pitch attitude. Alright, 80 knots, climb. Let's get the timer going. Reset, ready to go. Full power, 80 knots. There we go. 500 feet, start the clock, 80 knots. 5 seconds. Right rudder, ladder right rudder in this one. 14 seconds. 80 knots. 2,000 feet per minute. 80 knots. 30 seconds. 1400. Right rudder. 80 knots. 40 seconds. 80 knots. 51 seconds. 80 knots. 60 seconds. Stop the clock, 2200. Throttle back, let the airplane cool off a little bit. Looks like 2200 from 500. Looks like a little bit of light rain coming up here. 2200 from 500. 80 knots. 2200 from 500 is 1700 feet per minute. Alright, so not as good of a climb. The best we got is 1800 feet per minute at 90 knots. Now we're back to 17, so it is correct. We are on the back side of the park curve. So 70 knots is actually going to be worse. Looks like we're getting some rain here. Huh. I guess we got some rain clouds above us. As a matter of fact, a lot of rain coming on this way too. Alright, let's go east. This is why we can stay away from this rain cloud. See if we can get the weather. Alright, bookmarks, VTOR. We have to go down a little bit. But it looks like this page is done. Now we got stability and control checks. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Alright, let's see. Fuel pump's coming off. Stability and control checks. We'll do a weather check. I want to see what the weather is doing back at a hometown airport, because we're picking up some rain here. Nothing convective, just a little bit of rain. Come on, get in there. Probably nicer to have a nicer folder instead of that plastic bag. There you go. Back in the game. Okay, I'm gonna go down to 500 feet here and see if we can get some reception on the cell phone so we can check the weather. Alright, we got that thing. Let's try and restart. Looks like we have an airport here. Oscar, Quebec uniform. Ooh, 4G, look at that. Nice. Okay. Let's go VTOR. There you go, perfect. We're getting some weather en route here. Kilo Oscar, Quebec uniform. Oscar Quebec uniform, and let's check Groton. Let's check New York. PCAS clear, nobody's up. And let's see what we have. Submit. Perfect. Okay, Oscar Quebec uniform is 15 mile visibility VFR. Groton is 10 mile visibility VFR. Looks like Groton's indicating some light rain later on. Dobreski is light rain at 3 mile visibility. Brookhaven is 5 miles light rain. And East Hampton has light rain. Okay. Looks like we're going to be heading back to Groton. It's pretty much where the good weather is. Clear on the rain. And we'll go direct Groton. Looks like Groton is indicating some, okay, light rain for later. Alright, good enough. Alright. Back to the rain. Plenty of gas, 12 gallons on the right, 15, 16 gallons on the left. This could be just a rain cloud. It's going to track the shoreline back to Groton, or in the vicinity of Groton Airport. Let's see what Groton has to offer. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Looks like the stereo is a little bit off. There you go, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I can hear better. Okay, tracking the shoreline. It's a good test for the airplane now to make sure it's tight, watertight, and no water leaking when we're flying in the rain. In case we want to fly this thing in actual weather. Make sure everything is tight, looks like everything is sealed. No water coming in. Engine is coming really nice and cool now because of the water going through the cowling. No leaks underneath. Okay, let's see what Groton has.
Approach lights out of service. Flies on initial contact. Give information. Zulu. Groton confirmation Zulu. Observation time 2056 Zulu. Wind 080 at 6. Visibility 6. Light range missed. City overcast 3,400. Temperature 182.12. Altimeter 3013. ILS runway 5 or visual approach in use. Landing at runway 5. Caution for birds in the vicinity of all runways. Notice airman, runway 5 approach lights out of service. Flies on initial contact, give information. Zulu.
Light rain. This is much worse than light rain here.
Groton Tower Information Zulu, observation time 2056 Zulu, wind 080 at 6, visibility 6, light rain mist. Seeming overcast 3,400, temperature 182.12, altimeter 3013. ILS runway 5 or visual approach in use, arriving and departing runway 5. Caution for birds in the vicinity of all runways. Notice airmen, runway 5 approach lights out of service. Advise on initial contact, use information, Zulu. Groton Tower Information Zulu, observation time 2056 Zulu, wind 080 at 6, visibility 6, light rain mist. Seeming overcast 3,400, temperature 182.12, altimeter 3013. ILS runway 5 or visual approach in use, arriving and departing runway 5. Caution for birds in the vicinity of all runways. Notice airmen, runway 5 approach lights out of service. Advise on initial contact, use information, Zulu. Groton Tower Information Zulu, observation time 2056 Zulu, wind 080 at 6, visibility 6, light rain mist. Seeming overcast 3,400, temperature 182.12, altimeter 3013. ILS runway 5 or visual approach in use, arriving and departing runway 5. Caution for birds in the vicinity of all runways.
Raining. Okay, Gabreski's got some light rain. And let's see what Bridgeport has to offer. Let's try New Haven. A little bit closer. Hold on, let me see here. Close to Groton. Alright, let's tell we're transitioning here. Groton Tower, expert level 323 Alpha Tango with request.
323 Alpha Tango, Groton.
Yes, sir, currently 10 miles to the east, would like to transition south of Groton Airport and 800 feet along the shoreline to the west.
323 Alpha Tango, transition approved, Groton altimeter 3013.
3013 and transition's approved, 323 Alpha Tango. And you currently have rain on the field at Groton? And 323 Alpha Tango, currently raining in Groton Airport? And 323 Alpha Tango, is it currently raining in Groton Airport?
Yes, sir, it is.
Alright, thanks a lot. Alright, looks like we're getting a little bit of a leak here. 3365. Yeah, we're talking weather now. We're trying to figure out what to do with this weather. Looks like it's closing in with the rain. We'll see how it looks over there further west. Then we'll decide. Let's see what we got here. 5:30. forecast. It's forecast to rain until about 11 o'clock at night. And then it's supposed to clear up tomorrow. So maybe it's not too bad. Let me see if we can get the radar picture. No traffic. Alright, there's a radar. And let's see what we got here. Ah, there you go. It appears to be moving this way. And if we continue further west, we'll be able to clear that rain, which is going to be the plan. Okay. That's what we're gonna do. Looks like west of New Haven is where it's gonna be in the clear, just about west of New Haven. Looks like the rain's actually gonna get worse and worse. And then it's gonna clear up. Alright, so let's see. Doesn't look like a big band of rain, just moving right through. Terminal 323 Alpha Tango. Here's a beam to the south.
3 Alpha Tango, Roger.
Wow, a lot of rain here. Not much visibility here. Alright, we're gonna go down a little bit. Just track the shoreline. Terminal 323 Alpha Tango is 5 miles to the southeast, southwest, and clear of Class Delta this time.
3 Alpha Tango, thank you, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you, sir. We'll catch you later. Alright, looks like we're just about a couple of mile visibility here, not much.